Yeah, and it's 3 days to your KCSE, and I'm here to wish you the very best. I'm here to remind you that everything is possible if you work towards it. And you've been running, it's like you've been on a race. You've been running from Form 1 to Form 4, and now you're going to the finish line. So I'd advise you to add the energy, finish strong, run, use all the energy, and at the end of the day, you are going to make it. In this video, we are going to learn about how to answer the exact questions. In the end, we are going to identify the common mistakes in excerpts. So you want to watch to the end to learn that. I have the sample excerpts with questions and answers on our website. To access them, click the first link in the description or the first link in the comments. We also have the essays, the functional writings, and the Samaritan guidebook plus the oral skills. So it's a lot. And since you have 3 days, you can take your time to go over it. The first thing that we're going to check is how to put an excerpt in its immediate context. We have 2 things that you're supposed to do. Say what happened just before and immediately after. So you're going to pick out the whole idea. If we had 2 people talking, what were they talking about? And then immediately after, what happened? What did they do? The keywords are 2. You need to have before the excerpt, this happens. After the excerpt, this happens. So must include a before and an after in your answers. The other thing, you might not be asked to place the excerpt in its immediate context, but they can ask what happened before the excerpt and what happened after the excerpt. So you just say just before and immediately after. Number 2, we have the themes, thematic concerns. And this question can be asked in different ways. Don't get confused. First, identify the themes in the excerpt, for example, themes, or what are the concerns in the excerpt, or what are the issues raised in the excerpt. And then we have this question, identify the dominant theme. It's the theme that dominates in your excerpt. In the themes, you're supposed to illustrate your answer. If it's a theme of betrayal, you illustrate. For example, betrayal. Asiya Omondi betrayed Professor Kimani. And if it's love, you talk about it, illustrate it. Stylistic devices. You identify the style and then you illustrate it. If it's dialogue between Professor Kimani maybe and Tuni, dialogue between Rahma Mahmoud and Engineer Tahir, and then you have to quote the words. If it's a metaphor, simile, irony, all of it, just try and make sure that you illustrate it. And if they don't ask about the stylistic device, the other word that they can use at this point is the language use. Comment on the language use. You'll have to identify the stylistic device. Also, you can be asked to identify the dominant style in an excerpt. So you talk about the one that dominates. From the stylistic devices, we have the characterization. We use the adjectives to describe the character traits of a character. And we have 3 ways that you can do that. First, based on what the character himself says or does. And number 2, what other character says about that specific character that you've been asked. And number 3, what the author says about the character. So those 3 ways are going to help you identify the traits. Apart from using this characterization, they can also use this word. How is Comrade Melusi portrayed in the excerpt. So you give the character traits. Or also, what are the attributes of a certain character? It's one and the same thing. So let's go to the last part, common mistakes in excerpt. And I'll say this. 1, not illustrating your answer. It's going to be a 0, total 0. Even if the theme is right. Without an illustration, no mark. Number 2, all the answers have to come from that excerpt. For instance, I'm having this excerpt here, it's from here to here. So all the answers must come from this excerpt, unless the question still support your answer from elsewhere in the novel. So differentiate the excerpt, what you're supposed to get from the excerpt, and elsewhere in the novel. That's the end of our lesson today, almost the end. And with me here I have some excerpts which are available on our website. Click the first link in the comments and in the description to get access to them. You never know, one of it might come from there. Thank you so much, and I wish you the very best. Bye for now.